What does agriculture mean to you as an individual?
Agriculture actually means three things to me. It means a passionate venture, of which when is properly done, I mean, you make a fortune from it just like you make from any other venture. Also, it means it serves as a good employment opportunity for me, where I'm able to employ people to work in the farm. And of course, it even creates employment for the individual who is working himself. And one other important thing is that I take so much delight in seeing people eating from my produce, and I think it contributes so much more into the food sustainability goal that we have as Africa or as a country. And then it also helps in the food security that we all seek to achieve in our diaspora.
So thank you once again for having us.
You're welcome.
And we are still touring Jacob Farms.
Yes, Jacob
right?
Farms, yes.
What's the full meaning of the name?
Well, I couched the full meaning for my original name. And my original name is John Ato Ampa Kofi. So J in the Jacob is representing the John, and then the A is representing the Ato, and then the Kof is my father's name, which is the last name, Kofi.
Charlie.
So Jacob Farms.
Very strategic. Right. So the coconuts started right as the maize and then the oil palm and the cassava?
Yes. So when the first time that I cleared the total 15-acre land, I first of all grew I planted the maize. So the first season I planted the maize, but I needed to use the fresh nutrients of the soil to harvest the maize. So after harvesting, I cleared the land and then started planting this cash crops. Yeah, that's the oil palm and then the coconut.
So how many acres of coconut are we seeing?
So I have 8 acres of coconuts now. Currently, that's the number of acres I have.
What variety are we seeing there?
This is the DXT variety. Is a hybrid variety. Yeah, so we have the tall and then the dwarf type blended together to give us this hybrid.
How many years that this one takes to mature?
This takes 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah, so by 3 years time, we have to start seeing something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many months have we gone so far?
Yeah, so far we are heading into the second year. Yeah, we are heading into the second year. So let's say about 20 months so far.
On 1 acre, how many seedlings will I be needing for my 1 acre?
Well, my agronomist advise between 70 and 100. So between the 70 and 100, according to them and per the experiment they did, the land is quite fertile, and then we also have, a very leveled ground. So we did 85 per acre.
Okay.
But some side of it we have 80.
When it comes to coconut farming, what are the basic land preparation do I have to do before introducing the seedling?
Well, so you first of all have to clear the land. It could be, a forest like how I found this place. So you have to clear, and I will always advise that you don't have to burn the bush when you clear, because it adds up a lot of manure to the soil. So when you clear, you can wait for some time and it will start going down. You have to get some people who do it very well for you, and then you can start introducing your seedlings into it. But I chose the second option, which is I cleared, planted maize, and then after I harvested the maize, I started the planting of the coconut.
Have you had time to read about some of the leading coconut producers in Africa?
Yeah. But eventually Ghana happens to be the leading coconut producers in Africa.
Really?
Yeah. So we are all trying to contribute to that achievement. Yeah. Followed by Indonesia and other countries. Yeah. Nigeria, and I think Comoros and the rest, yes.
Beyond selling the coconut fresh, what else do you have in mind to produce out of your coconut?
Well, personally, I enjoy eating the coconut oil, and I know the benefits that you get from eating the coconut oil. So I may not even resort to selling the coconut fresh. Maybe I'll go into production of coconut oil and other stuff. And like I said from the beginning, coconut has a lot of
Benefits.
use and benefit, yeah.
When it comes to the market opportunities, which one are you targeting? Is it to be domestic champion, or you're looking at the export market?
Well, actually, I want to be a domestic champion with the coconut.
Why?
Because I realize that we produce more here, but still when you go to the market, it's expensive, which means we need to do more. So if we're able to add more to the market, what we have in the market, I'm sure it will reduce the prices in the market. When you go to the mall or you go to buy a coconut oil, you will see how expensive it is as compared to the other types. So if we are able to, produce more here and then add it more to our economy, we'll boost so that what we intend to achieve, like food for everyone and easy access, we'll achieve that dream.
Whilst walking with you around the farm, I saw you have manure around the coconut plant.
Yeah.
What benefits does it give to the plant?
So, one know that manure is what the plants need to grow. That's the food nutrient. And you cultivate a number of crops on the land. So with time, you need to boost the manure content, the ingredient content of the soil. And this is one of the organic way of boosting the manure content or the content of the nutrient content of the soil. So I apply this instead of applying other fertilizers. So since we started, this is what has been our source of manure for all our plants, be it the coconut, the oil palm, the maize and all of that, yeah.
Okay.
It is very worrying to see most of the youth in Africa, selling off their assets, properties, just to find a greener pastures abroad, whilst they can easily, make use of the vast land or acres of land we have within our various communities. So particularly, I find 3 reasons why some of the youth are doing what I have just said. And the first one is lack of education. People do not have more information about how profitable or lucrative agriculture or farming is. And unfortunately, we find ourselves in a system where most people do not get the information as to when to plant, how to go about it, and the profit that you will get when you plant XYZ crop. Also, some youth lack the ability to search. They don't do the research as to what they have to do whilst they are here to become successful. Probably there's this notion that when they go out there, everything is green, like they will find what they want there. But maybe in most cases, it may not be as it is or as it seems. So I think we have to develop the culture of exploring what we have within our economy before we think of going anywhere.
Will you allow your children to be farmers?
Yes, I will. Because it's not all about white collar job. And it's not also all about peasant farming. They will enter into farming with the perception or the ideology of being business related. So if they have that perception and they introduce it to me, why not? I will even encourage them to do it.
Among the options to explore, family, friends, loan, and others, for a young new farmer, which one will you advise me to do?
I will advise the young farmers or like yourself, if you are starting afresh, not to go for a loan. I would rather advise you to start with the little you have and then you go into something big. Because this year you make 10 cedis as profit, you plow it back. Next year you make 100 cedis, you plow it back before you realize. But when you get to the large scale, where maybe from 20 acres going there about where you think I need to expand more, so it is gradually becoming a corporate venture, then that one you can maybe resort to a reliable loan facility that will help you. And I think that is a very good idea for every business, because you don't take loan to start a business where there's a possibility. It's a risk that you are assuming. So assuming a risk, you have to also assume the wisdom to the extent that you will not enter into it and it will rather become a problem for you in the future.
What should I do to mitigate some of the risk that I might encounter in my farming journey?
Based on my experience, I'll
Yes,
tell you
please.
the first one is not to be an absentee farmer. It's a very risky, even if you pump your own capital to start the business and then you stay somewhere without visiting your farm, the risk is about 99% of losing everything.
Wow.
So the first risk I will tell you is not to be an absentee farmer. And the second one is that you have to know the market demand, and then the supply. And we know that this is what is needed from market X. So we produce that one so that market X will find our produce and then they will buy for us. Rather than that, you may have a very bumper harvest, but you may not get anyone to buy. The market will be a problem. So these are some of the risk factors you have to look at. The access to road and water as well. For instance, I'm not doing irrigation, but I have a stream across, which actually helps us when we need water for spraying and other activities. Yes. But where you don't have anything like that, and the farm is also far away from the town, you need to have a very good road access where you'll be able to transfer water from the village or the house to the farm. So if you don't take all these factors into consideration, you stand a very high chance of not being successful. Staffing has not been a difficult one for me because I have a style that I have used for the past 12 years. Being a corporate person and the position I occupy, I've always worked with people. So when I had to get people to work with me here, it was not much of a problem. But yeah, obviously I know it is one of the difficult tasks because having to work with the people, about 20, 25 people at a time. As you can see today, there are about 18 there right now. You need to know their character, how the temperament is and all of that, and manage all of them. But because I have done it over and over again, it is not a problem. Even sometimes I try to create the environment we are all enjoying the benefits of what we are doing. So we are working together and I do everything with them, not for them to feel like they are working for me, but they are working with me. But I've got quite a lot of complaints from a few people that I know concerning how they are enjoying the difficulty in getting their staff in. But I think that if they adopt my style, it will work for them. Because it's not easy to get the young man to come and join you because he's not your permanent staff. If they are permanent, that one is not even easy selecting them. And then let alone the casual workers who obviously when you come to rural communities like this, they also have their farms that they operate, their small farms that they operate. So having to let them buy into your ideology and work with you, I think is a talent and we are doing it so well.
Very insightful conversation ongoing here with Sir Kofi on his farm, Jacob Farms, in the central region. Last week you saw us in his cassava and oil palm farm, and opposite that is the 8-acre coconut farm. Impressive. I am super you know, inspired by his journey and the resilience and the confidence he has in what he is doing. I'm going for a quick breather, but this is the Ghanaian Farmer. Do me a favor, appreciate the work we are doing. Look, we want to hit 100,000. So be a part of these people who would help us to hit 100,000. Subscribe, share, and drop a comment. Whether you are in Ghana or elsewhere in Africa, let's hear from you. I'm going for a quick breather. I'll be right back. Thanks for staying. If you just tuned in, this is the Ghanaian Farmer. My name is Enyonam, and we found ourselves in Jacob Farms here in Gomwa East in the Central region. So we're going to continue the conversation. The journey has been an interesting one.
Yeah.
I mean, managing 2 or more crops as a farmer, a corporate worker. How has the journey been?
It hasn't been easy at all, but I took her time before starting to do some research. In fact, with the coconut and the oil palm, I even went to the institute where they produce these seedlings, just to know about some of the challenges that I will encounter in the process. And obviously, I've encountered quite a number of them, but because I know what I am doing and I don't joke with research, I've always overcome all the challenges. Like with the coconut that you see, we had a lot of challenges with pests.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some pests that come and eat the base of the coconut. And if you find one here, the next 1 hour that you come back, the coconut is almost at the verge of destroying. I mean, they will
Dying.
They will kill it. So I always had to make sure that my eyes are here, or I have my people always, I mean, working around. And we also make sure that we control the weed so well so that it does not overcome the crops that we have. And then when you come to the maize side as well, it has been a very fruitful one. It has always been successful. Just that we encounter challenges with the rainfall pattern, you know, climate change and all of that. The oil palm, when we went there the other time, you can see it has also become very successful. But they have all gone through the challenging processes, but we've managed to overcome all the challenges.
Do you believe that one can become wealthy or a millionaire out of farming?
Yes, I believe that, because we've seen quite a number of entrepreneurs, agric entrepreneurs, who have become successful in what they do. But obviously, it shouldn't just be the belief, it should be the action towards the belief. So obviously, we can all become successful in the area we find ourselves. Even the scripture says, brighten the corner where you find yourself. And obviously, if you brighten it well, you will become, or you will enjoy the success that comes with it, and you embrace it.
Why is Africans agriculture lacking behind despite the huge potential we see?
I see it as a single challenge, which is attention. There's no much attention given to the agriculture sector, and that has even led to the impression of people saying that agric sector or the farming is for a particular class of people, I mean, in Africa. So if we want to be successful in the agric sector, so that the agric sector will also not lag so much behind, which obviously we all know that agric is what everybody needs. We all eat every day. Then we have to give much more attention to the agric sector, provide more resources into the agric sector, make sure that the local communities enjoy the benefits from the government or whichever organization that is supposed to resource them, so that they will be able to produce. Because if people don't produce, we'll end up having to import, and that will bring a lot of economic pressure to our system, and it's not anything that we all want to see.
Do you someday see yourself becoming a full-time farmer?
No. I don't see myself coming into the farm only because I want to multitask farming with the corporate world forever. I mean, I want to make sure that the attention is given to my corporate side, and then another equal attention is given to the farming side. I don't want to lose sight on any of these two. I believe this adage that would do any nutrition to one, but then it's not applicable to me in this juncture. I am willing and I have the strategies which I apply to be successful in the two areas, and that's what I am hoping to.
Should we young people see farming as a retirement plan and not a full-time job?
It is not really a retirement plan, but it depends on the intention of the individual. Maybe somebody will say that, okay, I am planting coconut so that when I go on retirement, I can get some money. I'll fetch money from the Akoshi people or from using the coconut for oil and those stuff. Somebody will also say that I am doing it as a business. And of course, doing business, you create your future out of it. So when you go into your retirement, you will still enjoy the business you did today.
Do you sometimes have the fear of, hey, Kofi, so all this my money, what if it doesn't work out? Have you ever entertained such thoughts before?
Yes, I have. And it is a good thing that every business-minded person ought to have. Because if you don't think about why, you don't find the solution to it. And it will hit you unaware. And yeah, so if you sit down, like, in corporate world, you have to brainstorm when you are planning. You have to brainstorm, know what you are going to do, possible options, calculate the risk factor and everything. So you see, I told you earlier that if you bring your corporate ideas into farming, you are likely to succeed because you have explored all the business aspects in the corporate world and you are just transferring that knowledge to the field. And that is likely to give you what you want. And you ask the why and then find the reason to it. So when you come across the challenge, you have the solution already. It may hit you, you are a human, so obviously it may, but then you will find a way to navigate through.
When agriculture is mentioned in Ghana, what do you want to be remembered for?
Well, there are a lot of farmers around, but when you mention Jacob, particularly, I want to be remembered as not somebody who is just growing crops, but somebody who is growing the future of the people within the community, somebody who thinks about the sustainability and the food security in our community and in fact, in our diaspora.
Are you open for investment? Those who are not ready to farm but have resources and want to invest in a credible farmer, are you open for that?
Of course, I am open to investment because I don't want to just settle on what I have now. I want to have a very large farm, commercial one at large. So yes, my doors are opened for investment. And I'm sure when you look at my track record, you will not find it difficult investing in me because we have already created the platform and we know what we are doing is going to go a long way to support the bigger goal of the economy. So yes, we are open for investment. Yeah.
Okay. Lastly, I know you have travel experience. Have you had time to visit other farms and see what they are doing?
Yes.
To also practice on your farm?
Yes. I've visited quite a number of farms. I remember, I think 2 years ago, I was in Kenya and I found myself in one of the friends that I visited, the farm. And then, fortunately, I even have a British farmer as a friend. So I've also visited his farm where I've seen, he has livestock as well as crops. And I've seen all to myself. And I think it's a very good thing that whenever I come back, I'm able to bring something new. So you see how I do my things, the kind of chemicals we apply and all of that. We don't just do anything anyhow. We make sure we go according to the best practices to make sure we stand out to be the best.
Are you fulfilled?
Yes, I am. I am fulfilled.
What would be your last words to audiences who are watching you, those who are still, fighting their spirit? Should I do? Should I not do?
So if you are fighting your spirit on whether or not to do or to enter into farming, it is the right place that you find yourself today. Knowing the discussions that we've had, you should have in mind that it is passion first that leads you, but an attitude is the next thing that you have to cultivate. Because even if you have the vast amount of money or you are the richest person and you don't use it to do what you find as your passion, I'm not sure you'll be able to grow bigger. So if you are thinking about doing it, then I will encourage you to do it, because you start from small and then you go into something bigger. So as you start, your passion will keep growing. You will keep growing into the venture, and then before you realize, you are speaking like the way I'm speaking or any other big farmers are doing, because we are all aiming to be at that commercial level one day.
Thank you very much for having us. How do we find you on social media?
Jacob Farm is available on all social media. We are on Instagram, we are on X, we are on Facebook. So when you go to Facebook, you look for Jacob, Jacoff Farms Official. And the same applies to Instagram and Twitter.